Not only do you live off of the grid, we build this building off of the grid. Where are the interns at? We have an army of people.
I've got 50 interns. Don't hurt yourself.
I'm moving in here with my son, Ben. I'm an Earthship enthusiast. Talking about this for 10 years.
Nice.
Mike Reynolds is a rock star. Some people enjoy Mick Jagger. I like Reynolds.
Regular houses, they're pieces of crap.
This is the coolest house in America right here.
I can't think of anything that's going to stop us. Was this another truck?
You can't send concrete back.
Let's roll it, Leroy!
Everybody is balls to the wall.
Hold on. He's in the air. Go down. If that falls off, you can throw him right off the wall.
We have 4 weeks to complete this, rain or snow, or we have to do it.
Definitely trying to get this roof on before we get any more rain.
And hopefully this goes away tomorrow.
An Earthship is a building that does everything for itself. It makes its own power, it makes its own water, it grows food, it heats and cools itself. And we're building it with garbage.
Earthships exist off the grid, eliminating their reliance on public utilities and fossil fuels, and can range in cost from $50,000 to $600,000 depending on materials and size.
It's an independent cellular unit that takes care of people.
Michael Reynolds is an iconic architect with a cult-like following. He's published half a dozen books, is the subject of multiple documentaries, and is considered a hero by many for his radical building techniques. Why has he garnered such attention and accolades? Because he is the mastermind behind Earthships. For over 40 years, Mike Reynolds has been designing and building Earthships all over the world.
There are just so many good differences between an Earthship and conventional housing that when you get back anywhere close to conventional housing, I tend to just take off running.
Now he's in Big Sky, Montana, with his crew of 15 skilled builders to construct one for his newest client, Jeff, a chiropractor, a dad, and an Earthship enthusiast.
I first learned about Michael Reynolds and Earthships approximately 10 years ago. I was immediately intrigued, did a ton of research, and dreamed of having an Earthship of my own ever since. Been talking about it for years, and now it's finally happening.
Wow.
Living off the grid to me means freedom and independence. How do you do that?
Magic.
Mike has promised they will get the structure built in just 4 short weeks.
I got it leveled out, we're rolling.
Then Jeff will hire a local crew to come in and do the finishes. But 1 month is not a lot of time, so Mike and his team are going to have to push themselves to the limit.
All right, let's get these boxes. We're here to bang him out an Earthship in a month. We will die trying to make this happen the way we said it should. Today we get the building laid out and started so people can immediately go to work, sort of hit the ground running.
There's a lot on the line for Mike Reynolds to get this Earthship built on time. His reputation, the budget, and manpower.
If we keep this kind of weather, it'll be fine. The thing that could give us trouble here is a series of cold, rainy days. That would hurt us. You never know. We don't want to get too cocky. I brought my core crew here with me to Big Sky. They will lead the interns in the build of this Earthship.
My name is Tiffany Eglin. I'm Mike's assistant. Make a wish. I'm the intern coordinator. I've got 50 interns. I'm making sure that we're not running out of materials. I'm making sure, above all, Mike Reynolds is happy.
Where are the interns at?
I don't know. We have 3.
We need more than 3.
And not wanting for anything, whether it be concrete or Cheetos.
We'll do the whole back line with 235s.
Okay, so that's good. A family friend bought an Earthship. Once I saw it, I knew that I wanted to be involved. I got a job working for Mike Reynolds within a month. So here I am, 8 years later. Hey, now they can find us. Anybody new, please come sign in.
Hi.
How are you?
Good, how are you?
Mike and the crew have to work fast to get the ground level as the 50 interns descend on the site.
This is the Earthship Biotecture Apprentice Program, waiver of liability and hold harmless agreement. Don't hurt yourself.
Over 40 years ago, I started building a building out of beer cans. And it got all over the papers, all over the world. I started getting architectural students coming out
wanting to apprentice, so we said, let's really put a little bit of energy into teaching them some stuff. You just work with us as long as you want to for free. We teach you, you work. Wherever we go, 200 people or more want to join us. We can only pick 40 or 50. We basically have an army of people.
Earthship interns are fiercely passionate and committed to learning from Mike Reynolds.
We're asking all the interns to park along the
Yeah. They're willing to give up their lives for a month, camp out on site, and work extremely hard 6 days a week.
We decided we had to be here to learn more, to get more experience, so then one day, hopefully we can build our own.
I came out here to build an Earthship, to see it built start to finish. I'm volunteering my time because I believe in the project.
I probably couldn't buy that experience except for that I'd come up here and volunteer.
Get to camp and work on building something that I'm very passionate about.
Okay, right off the bat, thank you so much for coming out here and volunteering with us. I love the volunteers. It's always best when we get like a computer programmer. By the end of week 4, that kid, he's probably got a tattoo. All of a sudden he's cussing. He's wearing a bandana around his head like Rambo, running wheelbarrows with a war cry. It's amazing. That's Jeff. Jeff's gonna be living in this house.
Thanks everybody for coming out here. This is awesome.
Jeff's home is being built in the woods, so he schools the interns about the dangers of the local wildlife.
Bears have been seen here recently. They're not friendly. Don't approach them. Don't pet them. Be careful.
My last thing that I wanted to say, I wanted to introduce Mike. Round of applause.
Regular houses, they're pieces of crap. And it takes massive amounts of energy to keep them comfortable. This house, even on the worst day, it's gonna be 68 degrees.
Michael Reynolds definitely is a hero of mine. He's inspired me to build an Earthship. He's the man that gets it done.
Now that Mike's got the troops fired up, they're ready to attack the first big project, the thermal wall made of dirt and tires. The wall is based on a concept called thermal mass. Regular houses are like an empty shell. They need outside sources to heat and cool them. Earthships are radically different. They act as their own battery, storing and releasing temperatures through the thermal wall, which is 7 feet thick.
The tire wall is made by laying tires on the ground and lining the bottom of them with plastic and or cardboards. We have to do about 1,000 tires for this building.
Tires are the main component of the thermal wall, but where a tire doesn't fit, standard building materials come into play.
I'm cutting a piece of metal out. I'm going to make a cement block to take the place of the tire at the end of the wall. We actually tried cutting tires in half at one point, but that's a little difficult. So now we just pour blocks.
We started the first Earthship the day after we got married. I always tell people that, especially women, not to be intimidated by building, because building is construction, just like it sounds. It's putting materials together with tools. And women do that all the time when they sew or they cook. It's the same thing. Same exact thing.
Not everybody can wield a sledgehammer really well, so we can kind of organize ourselves and our strengths and weaknesses, you know what I mean? I'm Rory Moreland. My job is to be the foreman. So yeah, let's grab shovels, sledges, and just kind of spread out along this wall. I started working for the Earthship crew in 1998. I went and checked out the Earthship scene and volunteered for a day. Once you start doing it and you start building your own home, it kind of turns from a job into more of a lifestyle. Right now, your tire passed the 1610 mark, which is inside of framing.
Rory likes this. He believes in this. I watched him grow from this little spindly piece of grass into this tree.
His nickname is NATO, and it stands for tornado.
We use tires because they are indigenous to the entire planet. They don't rot, termites don't get them. They hold up good in an earthquake. They harbor thermal mass, and they are very easy to learn how to use.
City people don't really pound a lot of tires or move a lot of dirt, you know? So I'm definitely feeling it.
Get lined up with it and just...
You look how wasps build nests, you look at how beavers build dams. You look at things in nature, they're not all so perfect. And that's what I like about this method, is it's not so perfect. It's forgiving, it's organic. It doesn't need to be spot on, that's what we've learned. And we got a f***ed up digger.
We just had that fixed.
We won't be ready in time for the cement truck.
Oh my God.
It's getting closer.
I cannot believe this. I cannot believe
Oh. Calm down, everybody.
The interns woke up on day 2 to find they were not alone.
The bear's getting closer and closer.
Dude! Oh my god. Don't move too fast. It's in the trees looking at us.
Well, the bear started out about 100 feet away from our tents and then slowly started approaching.
It's a mommy with babies. And she didn't kill us. It's amazing. She knows we're super cool.
We build this in New Mexico at our headquarters. This is the battery and the power system box. We have solar panels leaning up against the hill here. We could plug in a cement mixer. We could plug in tools. We build the building with the power system that is ultimately going to run the building.
So we're getting ready also to throw in some tubes that are for ventilation.
Most people crank up the air conditioner when it's hot, and that cranks up the electric bill. Earthships have an ingenious natural air conditioning system that uses no energy, which means no electric bill. Metal tubes extend from outside the Earthship into the home's living space. When skylights are opened, it suctions cool air through the room.
Here's the tube. So it's something in the area of 5 feet. Let's see what 5 feet looks like.
My name is Doug Cook. I'm one of the all-arounders for Michael. I was doing really well. A white collar, headed for a really comfortable life in retirement. But I felt like if I'm gonna sweat blood for something, it's gonna be something that I believe in. I just like to build stuff, create things, especially things that are good for the planet.
Jared, you should get a team starting to bring your thermal wrap.
The next step is to add a new material to the mix. The blue boards are called thermal wrap. They're insulation barriers that help regulate the temperature inside the house another 5 to 6 degrees.
We are getting ready to do the dig for the front face footing, and we got a picked up digger.
We just had that fixed.
I know it ain't working. Hopefully only one.
We brought 2 demolition hammers. Mike calls them a digger, but one of them's down.
There's a rental place down there. I don't care if it's one of those giant, if we have to use it. I'm gonna try to get these working, but if I don't, I'd rather have an ace in the hole. If we don't get a second digger, it'll just take us too long and we won't be ready in time for the cement truck.
Without knowing if they can get their hands on a rental, Mike's team has to work twice as hard using one demo hammer and shovels.
The trench in front of the building is a serious structural component. It's a footing, it's a foundation. We have to get it in by the time we get the tire walls up so that we can throw the wood framing together. And once that wall is in and the back tire wall is in, then we can lay the logs on and it looks like a building.
Digger just arrived and hopefully we can get this knocked out so we can pour this grade beam tomorrow.
Sustainable buildings provide everything that a human would need for sustenance, and water is big.
One of the things that makes an Earthship an independent, self-sustaining building is the ability to provide its own water. The system uses no electricity, only gravity. Rain or snow drains from the roof. It then gets filtered, pressurized, and is stored in cisterns.
In the back, we're leveling a pad to place the cisterns, 6,000 gallons of water storage that the roof is going to run into.
Oh, nice.
We're creating a stable surface for the cisterns to sit on. Once they fill with water, they're going to get really heavy.
My name is Lou. I do the plumbing.
I saw Mike on an interview, and I was like, who's this crazy old man, like, building with garbage? Once I started seeing food production inside the home, like a banana tree, and using the water over, you know, I guess I was attracted to the plumbing of the Earthships.
Nice and easy. You don't want to be too high, because then otherwise your roof will be below your cisterns and you're not going to catch any more that way. So we got to work with gravity. Whoa! That end has to go in. Whoa, whoa. Is that thing read level? Hopefully. I think that's good. Look at that, spot on the money, baby. Nice.
Looking for trouble, can't find it. I'm just looking at our connections and making sure we got gravity flow. It's a lot of little things to remember as these get installed. To get the cisterns in on the second day is the best we've ever done. Was this another truck?
Wait. What is he doing?
How do you want to deal?
You can't send concrete back.
Oh, shit.
That's bad. You need stitches.
Yeah.
Whatever I want.
My name's Sean, I'm from Melbourne, Australia. This is my bus that I drove here from British Columbia, Canada. It's got a wood stove, a solar panel, secondary batteries, and a thumping stereo.
My name's Gemma, I'm from Melbourne, and I'm washing my husband's socks. He gets really stinky feet.
Last night we had elk, deer, and a big T-bone of beef, and we fried it all up on the pan.
Alright, I'm gonna go up and do some work.
Slinging cement.
Back on site, Kelly is kicking things off by teaching interns how to fill in the space between the tires.
Basically, we're just filling in the voids with rocks. Wet them down, and then we're gonna throw handfuls of cement in there, stick a rock on it, and it's done.
For this Montana Earthship, Mike Reynolds integrated a 2-car garage into the design. Because of the extreme winters, the homeowner needs to protect his vehicles from freezing. This garage won't get below 55 degrees.
That's it. We are shooting in some rebar stakes, and they are establishing the level of the top of this concrete footing.
55?
Which is 3 inches below the eventual finished floor.
This one is too high. This one is just right. All right.
Jacob was one of my interns in Crockett, Texas, and we built a house there. He came with Nyack, and they were hilarious. We actually loved them so much. We all chipped in and paid for them to stay another week in the hotel. Jacob's the man of steel. He has a history in steel and concrete art. He understands how things need to be structurally, so he's a really big asset.
Watch yourself, watch yourself.
Okie dokie. This is an 8-yard concrete truck full of cement. Gonna pour it into the trench to make the foundation. All right, well, let's pour this and have lunch. Let's roll it, Leroy!
Jacob fell down.
The hard work of the concrete pour is done, but just as the crew takes a well-deserved break for lunch, they have an unexpected visitor.
What's this, another truck?
Wait. What is he doing?
A second truck arrives with additional cement.
How do you want to deal?
What do you want to do with it?
Well, we're pouring it.
Now the crew's got to scramble to find places to use it.
We just had another 4 yards of concrete arrive before we expected it. You can't send concrete back once they've mixed it in a truck.
Let's just pour and see how far we go. Come over here with that shovel.
The only place left to pour concrete is the garage area. Unfortunately, nothing has been prepped, so they'll have no choice but to dig the trench as they go.
Got to come up 10 inches. You can see that's about right.
There's no time.
There's no time!
Make that middle one tighter.
Oh, shit.
As Rory throws cement into the column frame, his speed gets the best of him. He slices his arm on the metal lath.
Pick up.
Can you get me help me? If it's bleeding
That's bad.
Oh.
Rory cut his arm trying to use up the extra concrete.
Can you get me help me?
The team can't afford to lose the foreman. They have to patch him up fast.
We did a quick war zone field medic dressing on Rory's forearm. He cut it on a piece of lath. And it was deep enough that the fat was exposed and hanging out. So we washed it and put Neosporin on it and butterfly closures and gauze.
Typically, I would just take a bit of toilet paper out of there and some duct tape and wrap it up and keep working.
We can't have anybody out of the game because we're on a deadline, so.
Okay, we're done. Woo! All right.
Now that the tire wall is complete, the structural bond beam will be built on top of it.
We are looking at the height of the existing tire work so that we can figure out the height of our level concrete bond beam that goes on top. Perfect.
These little orange pins that are sticking out back here anchor the bond beam into the tire work.
The thing about it that's Earthship specific is the formwork made from aluminum cans.
We are going to go can picking. So we're doing the bond beams. And this is what we want.
Yeah.
We want standard cans, yeah. Looking for nice smooth sides, preferably undented, Something that's still got a few miles left on it. We call it picking cans. Kind of like picking cherries or picking apples.
I was worried that it was going to smell more like beer and I was going to get nauseous. I don't like the smell of beer, but it's a good mixture and some soda too in there. So. I definitely need a shower tonight.
My favorite part is when there's some liquid left in them and it gets all over your pants.
No, it's really good when there's cigarette butts and liquid left in them and it gets all over your pants.
Can.
Oh yeah. 150 cans per bag.
We have lovely smells on us now.
Here's a truckload of aluminum cans that otherwise would have been recycled, and we're actually going to build a building out of them.
Starting with a can, we want to crimp it on one side so it has a tooth. This is going to go down into your cement to help it stay there. We want the other side to be round or flat. Get a big handful of cement, spin it around a few times so it makes like a football. General rule is we want cans to be about 2 finger width apart.
Cans and tires are indigenous to the entire planet. They don't go away with rot. These materials are the most logical materials that I can find to build with.
The bond beam is going to be poured directly in between these two can walls. It's going to go 4 courses high of cans till it meets almost to the top of the tall pins of rebar. Once they put 4 courses in, we're going to lay a 1-inch patty of cement all the way across and level it off, and that's going to be our form for the bond beam.
That is a real accessible technique. It doesn't take a whole lot of skill. We just took 20 people who had never done it before today and gave them 5 minutes of instruction, and they built it, and it'll work just fine.
One of the key pieces of the Earthship puzzle is the greenhouse. The greenhouse performs various roles, including structure, water filtration, food production, solar collection, and air lockage.
Today, we're working on both of the greenhouses. We've done the mass over the past 3 days.
Our first greenhouse is going to be a sloped glass on 70 degrees, so it allows the most amount of light in. Get this square on the back.
My name is Brian Chevry. I'm a carpenter at Earthship Biotecture.
I went to school for electronic engineering, got a great job in the field, did it for 6 months and hated it, so I went back to pounding the US.
Here, Michael and I are installing a door butt. It's part of the interior greenhouse wall. It goes all along this core here.
We have our door boxes in now, and this is going to form a whole bearing wall here for the weight of the roof and the beam.
For the inhabitants of an Earthship to be independent, they must have the ability to produce food. Greenhouses are built inside the home where fruit and vegetables can be planted in the botanical cells.
You're gonna line this whole thing with 2 layers of plastics to protect the rubber lining from any sharp rocks. This gray water system, this is gravity fed. No pumps here to move the water. The same rainwater that we catch in the cisterns. Reuse 4 times. After you've washed your hands, then it'll get sent to our planters. The plants actually filter the water too, makes it cleaner. By the time it gets to the very end, and then we pump it to the toilet. We go to another big planter outside. And the plants like all that stuff too, yeah. They filter it out.
A little bit more. Oh, that's pretty good. So what we're building here is some formwork for our buttresses. Doesn't want it. Okay. It helps ensure that for no reason the weight of the berm on the other side of the tire wall would push it in. I'm going to go ahead and put this one up.
This is buttress because it's adding extra support to a wall to help stabilize it.
Yeah.
Right now it's hollow and it has steel running through it, like this steel skeleton. Then we pour that full of concrete. So that's still reinforced concrete column. Now we'll drill them and we'll set them in right now.
So
yep. Then we'll pour them and they'll move around while we're pouring and stuff, and then you just take them and kind of shh and get them the right depth you want.
These are buttresses on either side of the garage doors. Gonna be frame insulated wood plank. We're trying to emphasize the Montana look with this Earthship so that it illustrates that Earthships don't have to look like they landed. They can look like Montana or New England or whatever. So the garage is going to have timbers to look very much like other things around here while still being a radical Earthship that'll take care of the people in it.
Come down exactly where he is.
You ready?
This is the airlock with the garage. So they come in here, take off their ski clothes, and hang them on these posts. There'll be a bench built around it, and then they go on in a door here. Can't get it. Clean up! Yell clean up and nobody stops. Now that's a good crew.
Come on, Rain! We got cords that are shorting out. We have a lot of material that could get damaged.
He's in the air. Go down. Hold on. Could throw him right off the wall.
The Earthship crew has been working tirelessly installing all of the major systems. With only a couple of weeks left to meet the deadline, the clock is ticking.
Should we try bringing a couple or just start one at a time?
The roof of an Earthship is strategically designed to serve as shelter, insulation, and a rain catcher. Its multiple layers start with vigas, which are shaved logs and are commonly used in New Mexico as beams.
They're a break from framing and everything where you don't have to think and you just take a big tree and push it across a house.
All right, now, is that as low as he goes that way?
Let's roll this one a little. Just leave it.
The crew moves into the danger zone. The vigas are put on top of the structure free floating. The weight of one beam could crush a car.
Hold on. He's in the air. Go down. Because if that falls off that way, he's holding it. Could throw him right off the wall. Yeah, we got it. Foot and a half. Good.
That's the official sign for lowering.
A little more. Good.
All right, listo.
So today we put down 20,000 pounds of vigas. Tomorrow we're gonna put rebar in them so they don't move and put a greenhouse on.
The roof construction is ready for the insulation layer. We start with 1x8 pine decking. Then we do tar paper.
That is so much fun.
Then we're going to use styrofoam, 8 inches thick and much thicker than your typical roof.
With a major storm moving in fast, the crew rushes to secure the roof. Water seeping into the exposed interior could compromise the entire structure.
We are definitely trying to get this roof on before we get any more rain. The roof is wet. Everything's a little bit harder to do in the rain. Yeah. We have a lot of material exposed here that could get totally damaged if we get a torrential downpour, so we're cruising.
Mother Nature at its best.
The crew covers the incomplete garage to avoid any damage.
Come on, rain! So the rain's kind of throwing a wrench in a few operations here. We got cords that are shorting out, so we're having to move our whole power scene. Yeah, we're getting mud on the roof, it's washing down the roof, it's hitting the gutters, it's going into here. Well, most of it's being caught in our silt catches pre-cistern. What's not will be filtered out in the house later. 10 or 15 years down the line, they're gonna have to clean their tanks. That's par for the course on an Earthship or a catchwater house. Doing roofing and flashing in the rain is obviously kind of ridiculous, but we have no choice. We have to build in the rain, so that's what we're doing.
Everybody has moved inside because of the rain, so it's a little crowded, and you have to be aware of yourself and everyone else.
The rain just came down, the silicone's not going to stick to it, so we're going to wait till it's dry to put in the rest of the glass. We got 2/3 of it in this morning. We have 4 weeks to complete this project. Rain or snow, shine, whatever, we have to do it.
If it pours tomorrow and on the weekend, we'll have inside work.
Now we're putting adobe on the tire wall, hand mixing the adobe because the mixers aren't working.
Dirt, straw, water, and sand. Lots of love.
The Earthship crew does as much work as possible inside to keep things moving.
The mud needs to dry before we can apply the next layer, or else, you know, you get serious cracking.
Yeah, let's go on in here.
Homeowner Jeff Sod is checking in to make sure the rain doesn't slow things down, because no matter what, they have to meet their deadline.
When I showed up today, I did expect people to be sitting in their tents cowered in a corner, but everybody's out here working, getting the job done.
All right, thanks.
This is the coolest house in America right here. Water from the sky.
The rain hasn't stopped the team, but there's
After building the Earthship, it's nice to come out and do something for yourself, and I don't think my hands have been this clean in about 3 weeks.
back on dry land. The team has to finish all of their projects quickly before the local crew arrives.
I'm really concerned that all the Earthship-specific stuff gets done.
It's a little crowded, and you have to be aware of yourself and everyone else. Everybody's working on top of each other. I think that it could be a recipe for a disaster, that many people.
Watch your knees, Lou.
Now we're just trying to address everything in the house that's sort of Earthship specific. What we're using here, this is 2 parts sand, 1 part local site dirt with straw added into it for tensile. And it'll go on real nice and thin. And then we have a technique where we trowel it and kind of polish it with water to create sort of a dust-free finish coat.
We're at a point in the build where we're really getting going on interior work. This is what art looks like. After all of the bottles have been laid, we'll apply a coat of plaster, and then we do a float coat, meaning we take a sponge similar to this, but clean, and we gently go over all of the plaster and then clean each individual bottle. So these bottles will always be exposed and sunlight will always be able to come through them. It gives the effect of stained glass. It's cheap, garbage, stained glass. So the kitchen will be located over here to my right. This is where the sink will go. The plumbing has been installed for that. Cabinets will be over here. Refrigerator and all that jazz will be over this wall. And then we're putting a large fireplace against that can wall, which will be covered in stone, and that'll be a large living area.
Before the fireplace can be installed, Rory has to cut through the roof to make way for the exhaust fan.
Tying the rebar together for the fireplace pad. Being on site and building the Earthship, I knew it was going to be difficult, but because it's low tech, I'm able to participate in some of the low tech parts. It's been exciting to show up and see what's going to happen next.
This is a wood fireplace. Pretty simple, pretty straightforward.
Is this a glass front or a...
Yeah.
Nice. And it's about a 2,000 square foot heater. So it should be warm in here, there's no doubt about that.
These are the solar panels that run the building. The owners chose this site because it has a southern exposure. Sun is the source of energy for the building.
We have 6 solar panels running the power system right now. We're gonna put 12 panels on the house. Solar panels are all gonna be mounted on this front face, and the hot water collection system will be the center of that.
With the solar panels in place, all of the systems are up and running. Mike and his team are teaching Jeff how to operate and maintain them.
Ventilation wants to move low to high and get out of here, through the tubes and out the skylights. That's your ventilation. That's pretty much it.
We're trying to get all of the serious detailing addressed. We're setting up a transition between our crew with a finishing crew, and we'll quit and clean up the site and load up and get out of here. All right, I'm packing the green toolbox.
It's been a month. It's been cold and wet and beautiful at times. Overall, life-changing.
Feels good. We did a good job on this job. We got a lot done. That's always a good feeling.
Met a lot of cool people, had a lot of good times, learned a lot.
I am leaving here with some knowledge about Earthship buildings. Excited to go back and build one in Wisconsin and build one in Alaska. I'm excited, man.
I got sore ribs and dirty hair, and I feel so loved. I don't want to leave.
I think we're all proud. Everybody's really happy with us. The detailing work on this house, the way that it went up, structurally awesome. It's going to perform. Every time we build one of these, they just perform better and better. So that's a pretty good feeling.
The Earthship is now in the hands of the finishing crew. They're installing cabinetry, appliances, fixtures, and adding all of the final touches to make it ready for Jeff and his son to move in.
These are my organic fingernails and fingertips that are going to grow food. The importance of all the vegetation in here is to process the gray water that's going to be coming from the showers and the bathroom sinks. All right, here's your orange tree. We're planting the greenhouse in the Earthship here and getting the food ready to grow so we can eat food all winter long.
With the finishing touches of the Earthship complete, Jeff is moving in. The only thing left is to get Mike Reynolds' stamp of approval.
Mike Reynolds is about to show up here. He's going to be blown away.
This is a lot different than it was.
With the Earthship complete, Mike Reynolds is on his way back to take a tour of the house.
This is a dream come true for me. He hasn't seen the interior since he left. His crew finished weeks ago, and our crew finished days ago. He's going to be blown away when he sees this building.
Hey, Jeff. Good to see you.
Thank you for coming. I'm excited to show you the house.
Fits right into the hill here. It looks great. The stone wasn't finished, the lights weren't on, all of that just brings it around. The stain looks good.
Really turned out beautiful. I can't stop looking at it. Here we did a sand lay of the flagstone instead of grouting it. The bottle's finished up nice.
Stained glass, that's what it is. Nice little cave entrance here. The timbers and the stone and the bottles all work real well. This is definitely a full-on Earthship Montana style.
Come on around the back. See the cooling tubes?
The air comes in through the tubes. These skylights are open. Hot air is escaping that creates the suction that sucks the hot air through the tubes, and then the earth cools it off.
What do you say we go look inside and see the finished product?
If it looks as good as the outside, it's going to be fantastic. This is a lot different than it was. Don't have to wear boots to walk around in here now. No, this is great. This garage is nice enough to live in. This is the power center for the whole house. Here's where the power is stored in batteries. The panels on the front of the building are what supplies the power here. You'll have no power bill, ever.
How about we go look at the greenhouse?
All right, home sweet home. This planter is now going to be treating your gray water and producing food.
I've got a pineapple growing in my house. I've got tomatoes growing in my house. I've got all these herbs to cook with. Every ounce of water is used. It's just amazing to me that all this water came from off the roof. I took a shower this morning, and now it's growing food. Come on into the kitchen, Mike. How do you like it?
It looks a lot different than it did. This is great. Looks like a home.
I have a dishwasher, a range, a microwave, I have a refrigerator and freezer.
People think that to be off the grid, you're going to be living in a teepee and being cold. This building shows people that they can move in the direction of sustainability and not sacrifice anything.
Want to go check out the living room?
Sure. Who'd have thought that this was a stack of tires just a few weeks ago?
Here's all our creature comforts. We have a television, we have a fireplace, just like every home.
I'll be interested to see what you have to say this winter when it's 30 below and the house is warm.
There's no gas bill, there's no electric bill.
You go around in a normal house turning off lights because you're trying to save the electric bill. You're looking at 10 grand a year on utilities, and that 10 grand a year wouldn't happen here at all. The utilities don't even come here, yet you have lights.
It's awesome.
Okay.
My son's bedroom. He loves waking up here. He looks out at the view, animals walking by every day, and he has walls made out of cans.
Pretty much like a normal bedroom, except that it's solar heated and has solar lights and should be toasty. Snug as a bug in a rug.
Bedroom number 2, Mike.
All right, this is great.
I'm really excited the way this room turned out.
Trimmed out, looks great.
I love these thick, beefy walls. Pretty much soundproof home without having to soundproof anything. Let's have a look at the bathroom, Mike.
All right. Oh, this came out good. Yeah, it's all waterproof in here. It doesn't have the clay, has the painted hard plaster. Stained glass is outrageous with the light coming through it like that.
Come on in, look at the second bathroom, Mike. Powder room / bathroom for the guest bedroom.
Every fixture has hot and cold and drinking because we filter the rainwater for drinking. It shows that aluminum and can masonry units can make a room just as good as wood frame and sheetrock. It looks the same, if not better.
I'm really excited Michael Reynolds had the opportunity to come back and experience a finished product. It's been an amazing experience. I just really appreciate it. I really do mean that. It really turned out nice. I never really thought that I could have all the amenities in a house off the grid and sustainable, and that is very exciting to me to be able to live without any utility bills.
This building shows that living off the grid, it's not just a dream, it is a reality.